Let's talk about it. R-A-D-E-A-S. Let's talk about it. Isaiah. Let's talk about it. Leon. Let's talk about it. R-A-D-E-A-S. Let's talk about it. And other stuff.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kimberly, and I am the mother of Isaiah and the wife of Leon. And I will be hijacking the podcast for a few episodes. We are going to talk a little bit about the game of football for all of those newbies who don't know, for all of the people who need refreshers. And we're going to do it Raven style, just so that you can associate the number and the name with the position. So let's get going. First of all, I need to know how many people are on the Ravens team. Talking about the people on the sidelines, before we even talk about the starters, how many people are on the Ravens team?
You mean like the whole roster?
The roster, yes.
It's a 53-man roster.
53 people. How many people actually play in one setting? Like,
I mean, that's hard to tell because you rotate players in and out. So
I was about to say,
you have 11 people starting on offense. You have 11 people starting on defense. You have special teams. It's not always offense or defense, more players. So, but then they rotate players out. So it's hard to tell how many people play. How many people dress for a game is 45. So 8 people don't dress that's on the team. They put the best 45 to dress.
is this every team?
Yes.
yes.
What is the point of having 45 people dressed?
Because you don't really expect those other 8 to play. Especially because those other 8 are probably like third stringers or people like deep on the depth chart.
No. What is the point of having 45 dressed if you only have 11 offense, 11 defense? Like, and for the most part, I could see you switching out the secondary a little bit. But what's the point of having?
Because you rotate players, that's first and foremost. 2, because people get injured. So you got to have backups available. You can't have somebody non-dressed that run to the locker room and get dressed.
And backups of backups.
Yeah, so if you feel you're weak in one position, you're going to have maybe an extra linebacker dress. Or you have extra offensive lineman dress because they get injured more than anybody else. Because they get rolled up on the knees, this injury. So you don't have, normally people dress 7 offensive linemen, 5 start, 2 backups.
Cool. Okay, well, that makes sense. Moving on to, so now we've talked about the people who were standing on the sidelines and the fact that we have 45 people of those dressed to play. 11 offense. Please tell me, Isaiah, the 11 offensive players.
Let's see. O-line, the receivers, tight ends.
Nope. Tell me the
You
name
want names?
and the position. You
Let's
said
start.
11, so I'm going to be right.
Start with the obvious. Lamar Jackson, quarterback. Okay, now, let's say 27, J.K. Dobbins. 7, Rashad Bateman. Now, this one's a guess, but who knows? Who knows in real time? But 13, Devin Duvernay. I only say it's a guess because we don't know who's going to be the number 2 receiver. We're guessing it's going to be Devin, but it could be number 16, who's Tyler Wallace. But anyway, 89, Mark Andrews.
What does Mark Andrews do again?
He's a tight end. He blocks and catches.
All right, go ahead.
79, Ronnie Stanley. 70. Oh, what's his name?
All right, Dad.
Oh,
The linemen's always
know
when I
you're
mess
talking
up.
about. I know you're about. Zeitler?
Kevin Zeitler. I think he wears 76 Tyree Phillips, I think.
74.
74 Tyree Phillips. 64 Tyler Lindenbaum. And right tackle. Oh, 60 Morgan Moses.
That's everybody. That's all 11.
That's all like the starting, yeah.
So the only person who's shaky was.
There's only two people that are shaky. One because JK and number 35, because Edwards, they do switch out depending on the play. And two, the number 2 receiver, because it's either going to be Devin or Tyler Wallace.
And just to help my son out a little bit, Morgan Moses wears 78.
Oh, I was going to Jarwin James, wasn't I?
Yeah. And the Ravens want it to be Ben Cleveland. He did put Kevin Zeitler on the wrong side. Kevin Zeitler will play next to Morgan Moses. Ben Cleveland will play next to Ronnie Stanley. Phillip is a spring tackle right now that can win the job.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, I'm going off the Ravens depth chart. On the Ravens depth chart, it says Ben Cleveland's behind Kevin Zeitler.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm corrected. I apologize. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, so that is our offensive line. The defensive line is Mr. Leon.
The defensive line, I'm a projector, just like there's nothing set. It's Calais Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Michael Pierce. I'm going to say right now, Justin Matabuke. On the outside will be pass rushers. Linemen will be Justin Houston and Odafe Owe. Corners was Marlon Humphreys, Marcus Peters, Kendall Fuller.
You're not giving me numbers, Dad. If I'm trying to associate the number with the.
Okay, let me start over again. Calais Campbell, 93. Michael Pierce, 97. Justin Matabuke, 92. Marlon Humphreys, 44. Marcus Peters, 24. Kyle Fuller, 18. The safeties, we got Marcus Williams, 32. And I'm going to say Chuck Clark, 36.
No, that's all 11 starters.
Yes.
No, you forgot the linebackers.
Oh, linebacker, my bad. Patrick Queen, number 6. And the second linebacker, I'm assuming it will be Malik Harrison, 40.
Okay. So we have the offensive line. We have the defense. Who's shaky on the defense? Is anybody's position not solid?
Chuck Clark, number 1, because the Ravens just recently drafted Kyle Hamilton, who is the best safety prospect in decades, apparently. In college, you got comparisons to legends like Ed Reed and blase. And they just signed Marcus Williams. So Chuck Clark's job's now on the line. Number 2 will be outside linebacker, because I think Justin Houston and Dalen Hayes, a guy the Ravens drafted last year, Dalen Hayes was 59. I think those will be switching out a lot. And not to mention, we also have to, at some point, number 54, Tyus Bowser. He will be coming back. Can't tell you when, but he'll be coming. And, yeah.
So aside from those couple of people on the defensive line and a couple of people on the offensive line, everybody else has a solid position to start. Should
Yeah.
Start, unless somebody really blow up in training camp and preseason.
or something happens and
Yep.
Yeah, injuries you can never account for.
Okay. So we've talked about both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about numbers? What does the player get to pick their number? Why do certain groups have certain numbers, like higher numbers, lower numbers?
Okay, so that's a bit iffy because just last year, I believe, the NFL kind of changed that rule. So now, tight ends, linebackers, wide receivers,
Running back.
and running backs can all wear now single digits, which normally go to quarterbacks and kickers
What
and
was
punters.
the point of it in the first place? Like what?
Why they did it, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that, like before, like my son said, linebackers can only wear from 40 to 59. Defensive linemen can wear any from 70, any 70 and 80 to 90s. Offensive linemen, 60s, 70s, and that's it. And wide receivers at that time can only wear from 80 to 89. Same thing with tight ends. So I'm assuming they would run it out of, many people come in. I'm assuming they had to expand the number pool, the numbers that everybody can get a number.
So is this the pattern that they follow in college ball as well?
College football, you can wear any number you want.
Yep.
Oh,
Quarterback can wear, it would look weird, but quarterback can wear 20.
Or 99.
so it's not likely though that you can come out of college and get your same number that.
If it's a weird number you picked in college.
Or if it's a retired number.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because we all know nobody's wearing 52 on the Ravens or 20 on the Ravens.
Because
Or
those
55.
Those are retired. Those are retired numbers.
I don't need to be retired yet, but that's Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
And 55, you're getting 55.
Yeah, so
Terrell Suggs.
they might be retired already, but what young person would want to take on that hassle of wearing Ray Lewis number or Ed Reed number?
Okay. Okay.
Or
So-
you can, real quick, you can do like rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, who passed away when he was with the Washington Commanders. He was number 7, that was a retired number, but he went to the guy Joe Theismann and asked him could he wear his number. Apologize, my son reminded me he died as a Steeler, so he passed away as a Steeler. So you can do something like that too.
Okay. So now that we know who is wearing what number in what position, and we know who we assume will be starting this year, as far as the backups go, when, I'm not going to ask you guys to sit up here and name the backups. What I am, because everybody's face got like what?
I'm sorry, we do not know all of them. I can tell you the quarterback, backup, running back, receiver to a point, cornerback to a point.
Well, the quarterback backup was important last year because we not only went into our secondary, but we went into our third string, didn't we? At some point, with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
No, I thought we went 4.
No.
Didn't we?
I don't think we had 4 quarterbacks last year. That started.
Okay.
There was Tyler Huntley, obviously Lamar, and
And
Josh
then-
Johnson.
No, didn't the dude from DC.
The Bengals game?
No, what didn't Washington guy play with us last year?
That was Josh Johnson was
No.
from Washington.
The other one.
Dwayne Haskins?
Oh, somebody.
Trace McSorley?
No, he has like the third. Somebody.
Oh, RG3.
No, he was gone by then. He been
Yeah,
gone.
RG3 is now a
okay.
broadcaster for college football.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been gone
I
for 2
thought
years.
I read an article like he said he was ready to come back or something.
Yeah, he
Okay,
might be ready to come back.
His contract says his contract. I think he's with ESPN. I think.
Yes.
His contract with ESPN states if a football team offers him a contract, he can pause his contract with ESPN and do that and do the NFL contract, but then continue once he retires once again.
Okay, see, I've been reading some stuff. I thought that's what I read. Like,
No, he's been gone for at least 2 years, I think.
Yeah, but there's word he does want to come back though.
I mean, we get him not ready to give up on football, but
There's like another quarterback who, if you want to mention, you can. Colin Kaepernick.
yeah, we're getting off topic.
Yes, we are. Okay. So
He's going to the Raiders, okay?
now we're going to talk about something different. Okay, fellas. Now I want to talk about the drive behind the plays. Like who's coming up with plays, who's telling them what to do, and right before we get there though, no. Let's talk about them. So, who are the coaches for uh, the plays? Like who's telling everybody what's going on and what they should be doing?
Who's calling the plays?
Who's calling plays?
That's the offense coordinator we all love in Baltimore, Greg Roman.
That's a lie.
That's why I said it like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, Greg Roman is a hot topic because, you know, you either like him or you don't. You know, he got a great running game, but his passing game leaves a lot to be desired in many people's eyes. Of course, we have the head coach who's been here for going on 15 years, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, head coach. You know, he runs everything. You know, the weird part about John Harbaugh, we all know, is he's a special team coordinator. So he's never assistant. He was never offense coordinator or defense coordinator. So his early knows are not his specialties. And then we got Mike McDonald, who was here for like 7 years. Went to coach at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh for a year. And then came back to Baltimore as their new defense coordinator. So we'll see how well he do this year. Go by what Michigan did and how their defense improved. I got high hopes.
So we have three main coaches: one offense, one defense, and the overall coach. Okay.
Yes,
So what about the dude in the tower? Like what there is, I'm talking about the tower, but I'm saying there is somebody
The
that they
booth.
show on
The
TV.
GM.
No,
There's somebody they show on TV that's calling plays like,
I got you. Now, to give you a brief summary, every offensive or defense coordinator is not on the sideline. Some of them prefer to be up top so they can see the
Looking
whole
down.
field, looking
Okay.
down, so they can see how people are lined up and call that plays then.
oh,
Because you have 15 minutes when the players come out. The coach can talk to the players that has the green dot. One player will see how it has the green dot. The coach can talk to them about what defense he wants to run. Some like it. Some like being on the sideline. They can feel the energy of the team, knowing how to motivate them, and see. And some is can see the field better on the sideline. Others like being up in the tower where they can see.
so
Yeah.
the people that they're showing on TV aren't hired by the teams to.
Yeah, they offensive defense coordinators.
Oh,
Some defensive offense coordinator, I'm sorry I didn't make that clear. Some defense offense coordinator like being in the booth. Some
Okay.
like being on the sideline.
you know what
Now,
I'm saying though? I thought it was like a special person
No,
that each
it's-
team had to
no.
go up in the.
no,
Oh.
now if you in the booth, you can't communicate directly to the quarterback or defensive player with the green dot.
You
No.
cannot.
No, you gotta send it to your assistant, who then sends it in. I'm not sure why. Maybe because they feel you got advantage being up in the booth. That part I don't know, but you can't directly communicate with most of on the Ravens, and I would stick with the Ravens. That's what I know. Lamar Jackson wears a green dot.
The
So,
green dot.
The green
What is
dot
the point
is
of the green? Like I get it. Is that the only person you could communicate with on
Yes.
the field?
on offense.
Okay, so who has the green dot on defense?
Chuck Clark.
Chuck Clark. Again,
He's our
what
strong
is he?
safety.
What number is he?
36.
He's your strong safety.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of the time, most teams have the linebacker with the green dot, but they gave it to Chuck Clark like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and he was doing a great job, so they kept the green
so
dot
it's
on.
like the captain of that
defense,
Offense.
offense, captain, or who they trust most to get in the right play.
Oh,
You know, because everybody don't see that what you would say the bigger picture.
Okay.
Making sure this guy's lined up right, make sure that guy's lined up right, make sure
Okay.
everybody knows their assignment.
okay.
Of course, most times when your quarterback don't have the green dot, you don't have the right quarterback.
Ooh,
Because the quarterback is the one who calls plays in the offense no matter what. So if he's not having the green dot calling the plays, then, in my opinion, you don't have the right quarterback. I've never seen somebody other than a quarterback without the green dot.
Let's talk about the kickers. Who are our kickers? And give me the numbers and is there a kicking coach?
There's a punting coach. Really?
Yes, that's a special team coordinator. He's a special team, works for all special teams, kickers, punters, special team. You know, when they kick off the ball to go down and tackle the guy when they get the ball, and field goal alignment. It's a special team
Yeah,
coordinator.
but there is a
That's
punting
what
coach.
we were about to talk about
These-
afterward.
These are all assistants to him.
Oh, I got you now. I was good. There is a
Yeah.
punting coach.
It's
So,
not-
so who are our kickers and punters?
Okay, kicker, obviously.
Starter.
Best in the game, Justin Tucker. Now, punter, Jordan Stout. Forgot. I think it was like 18, I think.
No, he weighs 11.
It was 11.
Justin Tucker will give you his number, but if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan,
You should know it.
And if you don't know Justin Tucker's number, you just not really a
Big
fan.
number 9.
Yes. Now, to help out or emphasize the point, there's no backup kickers or punters.
What?
No.
Yes. There's no backup
They
kickers. or
rarely
punters.
see the field as is.
And they
the
rarely
only
get,
time
and they rarely get in an action that you get hurt.
now there is certain certain times where you do have 2 kickers on a team, and that's for one of two early. I think like in the late 2000s, the Ravens had 2 kickers at one point because
Early 2000s.
early 2000s because I think it was Matt Stover, right?
Yes.
Matt Stover was able to kick field goals, but he couldn't do kickoffs because he was getting old and his leg was starting to, whimper.
His leg wasn't strong enough.
His leg wasn't strong enough, so he had his second kicker on to do kickoffs, and that's all he was there for. I mean, that's really about it.
Wait a second. So, if something should happen to the punter, then the kicker has to do it. If something should happen to the kicker, then the punter has to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, they probably backups to it.
Pretty much.
Okay, so they're back up to each other, kind
Yeah.
of.
I'm assuming. I mean, like the punter we just drafted, Jordan Stout. The one good thing about him is when he was in college at Penn State, he was their kicker and their punter.
You can do both.
And we had to draft a punter because.
Sam Cook is old. There's
But
like
he was still doing his thing, though.
Yeah, but I guess
he
they.
wants to be with his family,
I
I
guess
get it. but
unlike
I'm
Tom
just
Brady.
saying-
But
I
anyway,
didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say
I
because he's
just-
tired.
I disagree with that one. My personal opinion, and I looked at the press conference and heard everybody talk, is the Ravens told Sam Cook ahead of time, which is good, respect your players, that they were thinking about drafting a punter. I feel that the best punter came up and they couldn't pass up on him, so they drafted him and,
He just decided to step to the side, maybe.
yeah, and decided to step to the side and they offered him a coaching job.
yeah, that's what said as a punting coach.
Who offered him a coaching
The
job?
Ravens.
The Ravens.
Really?
Yes, the Ravens take care of their own
Oh, that's
for the
nice.
most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just like what's his name? Our linebacking coach, Michael Orr, I think his name is.
No, I'm Zachary Orr.
Zachary Orr. He was a former Ravens player until he got a very bad neck injury, which pretty much ended his career. Then he decided to coach with Jacksonville for a bit. Now he's back home.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of special teams, because we didn't get there earlier, special teams coach is.
I'm not so good.
I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean,
all I know is he's black.
You guys, whoopity doo. You guys don't know.
All I can tell you is he's black. That's all I
I'm
can
sorry.
tell.
Just like what a lot of people think about punters in the draft, I don't really pay attention to special team coaches. I know they have an important role, but they just.
That's
No.
not cool, you guys. That's that's not cool.
For the
Okay.
longest time, I actually thought
So-
John was doing it, but
So, what about special teams players? Is there a such thing as a special teams starting lineup?
Yes, but we wouldn't. You don't know. I couldn't tell you who it is. Some of them are rookies. Some of them are
veterans.
veterans, or little veterans.
So it could be different each time.
No,
Yeah.
it's the same guy that somebody get hurt, but I don't
Like-
know who runs out on special teams.
Yeah, like Calais is on special teams. Calais Campbell.
Yeah, that's on field goal block.
The block. We all remember that Colts
Calais
game.
Campbell
We
not
all
run-
remember that Colts
Calais
game.
Campbell not run up and down field.
That would be hilarious.
That would be easy. That would be a
Someone's
so
getting leveled.
Special teams players are a combination of the players who are already playing, or a combination of both the players on the
a-
sideline and the players who are coming.
Combination of both.
it's more of the player that's on the sideline. Like you got a couple special teamers that plays on offense and defense, but most of the special teams are made up of, third string receivers, third string linebackers, third string whatever position you want to name.
Yeah, but there's like 3 big positions on special teams. Obviously, kicker, punter, and long snapper.
Okay, hold up. So, special teams players, how many people run out on the field?
11.
Okay,
Those are
so
more than-
this makes better sense if we're talking about how many people get dressed, because I couldn't understand when we first started talking how come so many people get dressed when you have so little people play. But in actuality, you have most of those people who are dressed are actually playing at some point.
Yeah, I
Like-
guess you could say that. If you add it all up, that's 33.
It's 33, and then I'm pretty sure you have your switch outs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it makes a little more sense now, knowing that you have backups for your backups for offense and defense, and then you have your special teams players who also are on the field as well, and then you have backups for those people too, I guess.
But special teams,
Yeah.
I mean,
Not really, because special teams might be your third string.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
special teams is already just
and
a
if
bunch
somebody-
of
if somebody get
bunch of
hurt,
backups.
You had backups. A position got backups. Because you can't assume a special team
At
won't
least
get
3
hurt.
times.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you
2
mean
times.
3 times?
2 times. Like if you have a main player, then you have a backup for him and a backup for him. Like
Not
you have
for
a third.
special-
You have a third string for all the positions.
Not for special
Sometimes.
teams. And remember,
No, not for special teams. I'm just saying for all the positions, there are 3 players.
It depends.
depends on the position.
Yeah.
Because for running back, I think like what?
Running back, Ravens normally just 3.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say it's normally J.K., Gus, and Justice.
And that'll be 27, 35, and 43.
Okay.
J.K. Dobbins, 27. Gus Edwards, 35. Justice Hill, 43.
Justice Hill, but loses the
Okay.
draft anyway.
So what we have learned today, which I'm very grateful, because it helps me understand a lot of what's going on the field. So we have our offense, we have our defense, and we have our special teams. We have our kickers and punchers, which are also on special teams. So, and it's good for me to know personally, like when I'm watching TV, because I personally hate going to the games. I don't like to have to personally follow the ball. I'm so used to the TV doing it. And to me, going to the stadium is freaking stressful. But,
I had to interrupt. As far as I know, you only went to 1 game.
and that was my last game.
And you
So-
got pissed off when the Ravens blew the Steelers out,
Okay.
even though everybody around you loved it.
I was
Let
like,
me
even
just
I went to
tell
2
you-
Ravens games.
Let me just tell you that it was frustrating for me, and I like better sitting at home and having my whatever it is I'm going to eat, and
You're not.
yeah.
But
So
the
therefore,
atmosphere of the game, though.
I get it. I got atmosphere. at
Not to
home.
mention that one guy whose name leaves me right now. You know what I'm talking about?
The guy who transferred, the guy
Yes.
who did the crowd hype.
Yeah, freaking takes off his shirt. R-A-V-E.
I get it,
That
but
guy.
not for me.
Forgot his
So, that is going to wrap up the first part of Explain It to Mom. And what we're going to do is come back at you later on in the week with the second segment, which is going to be who does what, how. So they're going to explain to you and to me actually who's playing what position and what that position entails. So I'm really excited. I watched the game and I can follow, but all these little small things that help make up the game of football, professional football, kind of I don't know. So anyway, this has been very helpful and super fun. Talk to you guys next time. We're out.
See ya.